On March 1st, 2026, the banks are going to quietly tighten the entire banking system, and nobody is talking about it. Did you even know that there's going to be a lot of financial changes on March 1st of 2026? There's no viral headlines, no breaking news countdown, no dramatic speeches. But behind the scenes, regulators tightened the system. ACH fraud monitoring got stricter. Real estate reporting expanded. FDIC digital disclosures changed. The CFPB updated PACE regulations. Capital supervision tightened, and credit union rate caps were extended, all in 1 month. And that's not random, that's coordinated system adjustment. And if you think this doesn't affect you, that's exactly why you need to watch this. Because if you use a bank account, Zelle, direct deposit, cash deposits, real estate LLCs, credit unions, you are operating inside a tighter system today than you were in February. But I want you to comment tighter if you already feel like the banks have been getting even stricter. So let's go ahead and break this all down. Now, there are going to be 6 very important parts to this, and you do not want to skip even one of them because all of them are very high impact. So let's jump in. Part 1, the ACH fraud shift. Its major impact starting March 20th, 2026. Now, updated rules from Nacha went into effect, and they are going to start on March 20th. Now, if you don't know what Nacha is, that's the organization that governs the ACH network, the backbone of electronic payments in the US. ACH processes direct deposits, payroll, Zelle transfers, online bill pay, bank-to-bank transfers, government benefits. So when ACH rules change, it's not small. The 2026 updates require enhanced risk-based fraud monitoring. Translation, in normal language, the banks must turn up the sensitivity of their automated fraud detection systems. You heard me right. If you thought it was worse before, now they're gonna turn it up even higher, which means more monitoring, more pattern tracking, more anomaly detection. And here's what that means. If you normally spend $100 per transaction and suddenly spend $900, flag. If you normally receive 2 deposits a month and suddenly get 5, flag. If you move money faster than your historical behavior, flag. And here's the part that nobody explains properly. The system freezes first. The system freezes first and it asks questions later. Not because you're guilty, but because the algorithm saw a deviation. Now, if your debit card has ever been declined randomly, I want you to type in the chat declined. Now, it's actually happened to me and there's no reason for it to be declined, but it happens. So now all of these changes that I'm talking about, they've been preparing some of them since 2024 and 2025, and finally it's all going to roll out. Now, part 2, capital and supervision tightening. March 2026 also is going to bring broader regulatory capital and supervision adjustments across financial institutions. Banks are under heavier scrutiny for fraud mitigation, liquidity stress, risk modeling, compliance reporting. When regulators increase supervision, banks reduce risk tolerance. When risk tolerance drops, monitoring gets stricter. Accounts reviews happen faster. False positives increase. This is systematic. It's not your bank being mean, it's your bank protecting its regulatory standing. And when pressure flows downward, it lands on you. Now, moving into part number 3, the FinCEN real estate rule. Effective March 1st, 2026, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network implemented the residential real estate reporting rule. If you buy property through LLCs, trusts, non-finance transactions, certain entity structures, there is now expanded reporting visibility. And the goal? Anti-money laundering. And the effect? More transparency, more documentation, more scrutiny on beneficial ownership. If you're in real estate investing, especially using entity structures, compliance just got heavier. This isn't about stopping you, it's about tracking who's behind transactions. But make no mistake, data visibility is increased. Now, moving on to part number 4, FDIC digital rule changes. Also effective March 1st, 2026. Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation updated digital advertising and signage requirements. Now, banks must clearly disclose FDIC insurance status across digital platforms. Why? Because fintech confusion exploded over the last few years. Apps look like banks. Banks partner with fintech. Consumers didn't know what was insured, so regulators stepped in. I mean, it's good for clarity, but also a sign of tighter oversight on how financial products are marketed. Now, moving on to part number 5, the CFPB PACE regulation. The Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, that's barely alive, I don't know how, but it totally is, updated truth in lending exemptions around PACE financing. PACE loans, properly assessed clean energy financing, now require expanded disclosures, more consumer protections, more clarity, more federal involvement. Again, more oversight and more compliance. Is this pattern forming yet? Are you guys catching this? Now, part number 6, which is a huge one, credit union rate cap extension. Here's something very interesting. The National Credit Union Administration extended the federal credit union loan interest rate cap at 18% through September 10th of 2027. I want to give a special shout out to all my beasters out there that are working hard to fix their credit using DisputeBeast, the most advanced AI credit repair software ever created that comes with a 110% money back guarantee. But specifically to Kenneth. Kenneth's credit score went up 282 points after just one round with DisputeBeast. And Arthur's credit score went up 670 points after just 2 rounds with DisputeBeast. But let's not forget Destiny. Destiny's credit score went up 264 points after just 1 round with DisputeBeast. DisputeBeast link is going to be in the video description and pinned at the top of the comments for anyone that needs to fix their credit. Now, it was originally set to expire March 10th of 2026. Now, without extension, it would have dropped to 15%. You heard that right. I'm a little upset about this because I'm a huge proponent for credit unions, but they decided to keep it at a higher rate. Now, the general federal credit union cap remains at 18%. Now, payday alternative loans remain capped at 28%. Did you just hear that, what I just said? They're capped at 28%. So legally, they will allow the interest rate at credit unions to be at 28% for payday alternative loans. But you're probably asking why? Because inflation, higher interest environment, and risk pricing flexibility. The NCUA basically said, if we drop this to 15%, some higher risk borrowers lose access. So this move preserves lending access. This is one of the few regulatory adjustments this month that benefits certain consumers. I want you to see the bigger picture. I want you to now zoom out. What do all these changes have in common? More visibility, more monitoring, more documentation, more compliance, more automation? March 2026 wasn't random. It was a tightening cycle, and when systems tighten, the margin for unusual behavior shrinks. If your financial behavior is clean, organized, predictable, you feel minimal friction. If it's variable, messy, high volume, or business-like in personal accounts, you'll definitely feel more friction. But let's talk about how this affects different people. So if you run side hustles through personal accounts, receive frequent Zelle payments, deposit inconsistent amounts, invest in real estate through entities, borrow from credit unions, move money internationally, your compliance burden increased, not dramatically, but measurably. Automation is now front and center in banking risk management. And automation doesn't care about your explanation, it cares about deviation. Now let's talk about how to adapt, because you need an action plan. Last part's the most important. So here are 7 steps that you're gonna need. Here's what I'd personally recommend. Number 1, separate business and personal banking. Number 2, keep documentation for large deposits. Number 3, pre-notify banks before large unusual transfers. And 4, make sure beneficial ownership filings are accurate. Number 5, turn on real-time transaction alerts. Number 6, if you're borrowing from credit unions, compare rates carefully under the 18% cap. Number 7, avoid unnecessary cash deposits. And most importantly, operate clean, organized, transparent, predictable, because predictability is rewarded in tighter systems. Listen, I want you to understand this isn't panic content. This is awareness content. The financial system didn't collapse, it recalibrated. And when recalibration happens, the people who understand the direction move smarter. Coming up March 2026, tighten the screws. Just simply put that way. Slightly, strategically, and systematically. If you stay organized, proactive, and intentional, you'll be fine. But if you assume I'm not doing anything wrong, so nothing will happen, that's when you get surprised by automation. Now, I want you to comment the word aware if you're gonna be moving smarter now, and hit that like if you appreciate real breakdowns without fear tactics. And as you can see, I don't just talk about credit scores because I need to talk about the systems around your money. If you have any collections, charge-offs, or negative negative items that you need to delete from your credit reports, make sure to watch this video right here because it's gonna show you how AI will do all the work for you, mail your letters, and it comes with the 110% money back guarantee and a free credit analysis to show you what's hurting your credit and let you fix it instantly. And if you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.